Dipersilakan Cik Eng untuk meneruskan sesi pada petang ini.
Okay, selamat petang semua. So I hope you guys had a great lunch. Okay, let me present my screen. Okay, boleh nampak tak? Okay, so sekarang semua ada dekat komputer anda tak? Okay, so sekarang kami akan buat hands on lah. So buat hands on, I want you guys to go to this link that I sent to the dalam chat tu. Okay, link dalam chat ni. After that, you akan datang ke page ni. Dalam page ni, tekan create apps. Okay. Tekan create apps. Dia akan tiba dekat page ni. Page yang ni. Okay, page yang ni. Oh, okay, akan tiba dekat page project. Tapi yang ni hendak sign in lah. You boleh sign in dengan guna Google account ke, MOE account ke, pun boleh lah. So lepas sign in, yang ni ialah tu account page. So pada petang ni, I akan ajar sedikit basic lah dengan app development gunakan MIT lah. So this is to recap from the workshop that we did earlier in July. Okay, so have you guys reached this stage yet? For you guys, probably it's blank lah because there's no project, it's a new account. Ada ke? Okay, so sekarang tekan new project. So hari ni kita akan buat satu login page yang simple lah untuk rakan-rakan semua dekat Meet ni. So kami buat satu login page, we call it login page lah. Tapi jika hendak space, hendak letak tu hyphen down there. Okay. You press OK. Then you should be seeing one login page and then satu blank screen. Okay, so sekarang I akan introduce apa-apa feature yang terdapat dalam MIT App Inventor ni. Okay. Jika semua dapat page ni, you akan nampak dekat kiri ni ada user interface. Yang pagi tadi I ada mention lah yang user interface. You guys still remember what is user interface kan? So user interface yang ni bawah ada button, checkbox, yang ni semua yang visual punya. So yang visual punya lah. So anything that you can see on the screen. Like your button, checkbox, date picker, and basically you can pick dates, image letak gambar, label, yelah, you can put title ke, uh, your words ke, atau login page, you can put login title ke pun boleh lah. Then ada list view, notifier, password text box. Password text box ialah when you do login page kan, like the morning I showed you guys a picture of your login page. Yang ni untuk key in password lah. Password text box, slider. When you see some website ada slider macam di Spotify, you want to slide those music ke, yang boleh buat slider lah. Yang spinner, this one is more of like to display more slides lah. Switch macam boleh toggle on, macam turn on location ke, turn on dark mode, light mode, whatever also can use lah. Then text box, untuk key in apa-apa pun boleh lah. Then time picker, macam you key in macam buat appointment code, buat appointment atau key in time, AM, PM, you can use this lah. Then web viewer, macam you embed satu website dekat app tu, ni web viewer lah. Macam layout is more of like when you put in the layout, then you can put in some horizontal, vertical untuk your screen lah. Then media is when you want to upload video, audio, yang ni lah untuk upload file dari phone. Then this is the video part lah. And text to speech, this is all media lah. When anything got to do with video, pictures or sound, semua media lah. Then drawing and animation, yang ni untuk anything action lah. You nak buat maybe Tom and Jerry run here, run there, and then the ball, anything that's moving, that's drawing and animation lah. Then as for maps, these are like circles, feature collection. These are like markers that you can put in your map. Let's say you embed satu Google Map, you mau buat marker, you mau buat tu navigation ke, polygon, rectangle. These are all the markers that you can use in the maps. Let's say you want to box up the area and to show that, oh, yang ni, this area is the area that you want to put in the map. So let's say you want to put in a map, and then you want to put a rectangle onto the map, and let's say that, oh, this area is the area that is, let's say maybe you mau buat fun fair dekat area ni, you box up this area, then you can use that for mapping purposes lah. Then marker, you can letak apa-apa marker like, oh, this area is Sungai Klang, let's say lah. Then you want to mark that, oh, this area Sungai Klang, then you put in this area is a fun fair area. So how to get here, you use a line of string, maybe this area to this area, how many km, like this also can lah. So these are like some examples you can use for mapping purposes lah. Okay, let me delete this. Oh, if you want to remove or delete anything, you drag and drop in, but then over here, you see the rectangle, you just click on it, you want to remove, you can remove, and press delete. Yeah, like this morning, I mentioned like the UI UX and how to label your buttons. Macam yang these buttons, you have a notification say, oh, red color is delete. So when you press, so that's why then you will know that, oh, this one is the delete button. If you put these two the same colors, then maybe you might press the wrong thing kan. So That's why you say red is delete because somewhat like, oh, this is like emergency or something, so like, or you put delete. So this is some part of UI UX lah, the UI part lah. So this is how you press delete. Okay. So after that, for charts, it's when you want to put in data or something. Okay, so as for the charts, charts when you want to display any data, let's say you want to display any infographics or you want to display any data or information or maybe analytics that you want to show people in your apps, you can do so lah. So these are the charts lah. So charts, this one is the bar chart, where usually you can do for statistics. Then 3D chart, the 2D chart, the pie chart, probably you can do it for, usually you can use it for, how should I say, maybe you want to show the population of people in Malaysia in your apps, or you want to do something like a math app to calculate a percentage of something, then that is where the charts comes in. Then as for data science, this enemy detection is more of like, this is more to analyze data and more to the data science part. You want to run data, analyze data. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Okay, so regression is more of like, it's more to data science things. If you want to find out more, you can click on this question mark button. That will lead you more to some more explanations if you need. Then, but today we won't be going too in depth because we don't have too much time lah. So I just go on a very brief introduction to you guys into MIT App Inventor. So as for sensors, these sensors, like what I mentioned this morning, like these sensors are the sensors that you use your phone sensors. So like accelerometer sensors is like that sense how fast you're going, how many km per hour that you're going, somewhat like that, and how fast, the speed, the velocity, whatever lah. The barcode scanner is like they'll use your phone camera, then they will scan a certain barcode. Let's say you want to build like an app to scan barcodes for maybe, let's say, the product, the food product, when does that expire, somewhat like that example lah. Like you want to know what product is this, you can just scan the barcode and probably you can key in, then they'll search for like, oh, what product is this, somewhat like that. You can add like that lah. Then a barometer, it's also a component that it basically detect your air pressure lah. Maybe how high the air pressure you are. Probably you are on top of Mount Kinabalu, then probably air pressure there is like stronger or weaker, somewhat like that. So you can sense out the air pressure around here. So it's more convenient if you want to build a weather app lah, if you want to use barometer or whatnot. Then by using that, probably you can know that now the air pressure, it's a bit heavier or so, then it might rain or not. So somebody can use something like that lah. Then clock is, they will link up with your clock, your phone, to see what time is it. Maybe you want to have an app that you can buy things during like what time to what time. They want to get your phone's time, then you can add that it also lah. So if you want to do like you want to do calculations or something, that is also possible lah. Then gyroscope sensor, but mostly these sensors you might not be really using so much unless you're using barcode scanner to scan barcodes, or you might be using a location sensor to get your location if you're using apps that need maps and so on, or you're doing sorry. Okay. Did my can you still see my screen? Lost connection. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, can you still see me? Okay, nice. Sorry, I got lost connection for a while. Okay, okay. So, but usually you'll be using location sensor or probably barcode scanner if you're using it. But usually, mostly if you're going to get location, use location sensor, near field orientation, pedometer, prismatic sensor, thermometer. All these are probably you won't be using so much. Then as for socials, as what I mentioned this morning, like there are some stuff that these socials are more to your phone now, basically. Like contact picker, they'll access your phone's contact to actually get to know like what contacts you have. And email picker is more of like to access your emails and so on to actually get to know what emails you have and so on. Phone call is you can call someone by pressing a number from the app itself, and phone number picker it's you can access your contacts and so on. Sharing is you can share this app to somewhere, maybe WhatsApp, Facebook and so on as your choice. Then texting option, you can actually put it in if you want to maybe build a texting app or something. Twitter is you can add like social media account to your own apps. This is some way that you can add some social media also. But this morning we have one of the student who asked about can you link them into TikTok and Instagram? Well, you can do so by putting in links into your app that you can link them into other social media platforms. So it's not an issue to do that. And as for storage, this morning I mentioned about like Firebase, like Cloud DB is also one of the database, data files and files or all these are like storage options that you can use. Like files are usually if you have access to your phone's files, you can do so also. Then in spreadsheet, TinyDB, Tiny, TinyWebDB, these tools are databases, and spreadsheet is basically like Microsoft Excel and CSV file and all those. Usually Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, they are categorized under spreadsheets. Then as for connectivity, these are some of the stuff that probably you might want access to web, like connect them to Safari or Google Chrome or so. This is web, and for Bluetooth server and Bluetooth client, it's more of like if you want the app to access your phone's Bluetooth or to connect to other Bluetooth devices. If let's say you're building an app for like a smartwatch that you want to connect to a smartwatch or maybe connect to let's say a Bluetooth speaker. So this is where this Bluetooth client, Bluetooth service comes in. Then as for Lego Mindstorm, but I assume usually apps won't be able to won't touch these section because if you had done like robotic stuff back in your school, probably you can get a hand of like what is Lego Mindstorm is now, but usually they have their own platform to actually do these stuff. So you won't, but for a normal app, you won't be actually using these because these are more of you need a Lego Mindstorm like chip or Mac tools to actually be able to use to connect them. Then as for the experimental, like this morning I had also mentioned like Firebase DB is also one of the database that we can use for logins, accounts, storage, and so on. Yep. And image bot, chat bot, and so on. Yep, you can actually do that. So if you find any extension that maybe you want to build like chat GPT, whatever stuff you can find online, if they have an extension for MIT App Inventor, you can import that extension into MIT so you can apply that into your apps if you want to. Like maybe like this morning I saw one of the teams they're using like Google Translate or something. You can also do so lah. It's which is some quite a like a not bad solution lah. Okay, so after talking about the interface, user interface part, so I'm gonna introduce you the back end of the app. So the back end, once you click on the blog section, if I'm going too fast, you can let me know lah. So if anything that you want to stop me anywhere, you can just drop down in the question. You can drop down your questions in the chat box lah. I'll answer on the go. Yep. Okay. So these, as all you can see here, are labeled by colors. I'm not sure whether you can see. Can you see? Okay. So right. So if you can see all the yellow colors block, anything that is labeled yellow is part of control. So if you see anything that is yellow here, or any blocks that you add in, they have a yellow block, meaning that it's part of control. So usually if you want to start anything, you want to start a program, you want to produce an action, like example, if I click on screen, then when you look at, when screen one is back press, meaning that when screen one, you want to switch screen, you want to do like, you want to add in a button and say, when button one is pressed. So what's next? What should you do? So should you change color? Should you log in? Should you access the server and so on? And this is the first step of anything that you put. So it's part of control. So if you had used Scratch before, and if you heard of Scratch, this will be somewhat similar to it. So anything that you mostly start with the yellow block. So as for the green one, the logic. So if you think of logic, you think of yes, no, and yes. You just think of it. Is it yes or is it no or is it equal? So it's like doing somewhat like making decisions. So when you make decision, it's always like, is it yes? Is it no? Is it right? Is it wrong? So this is the logic part. You have the thinking part. So this is the logic. So as this, all the green color ones all belongs to logic. Yeah. So as for the math one, is where you do math, like you do plus, minus, multiply, division, and so anything to do with math and numbers is all in blue. So if let's say you want like a certain figure, you want to plus, minus something, or multiply anything is blue, it's white. Sorry, it's blue. Sorry, anything in blue is math. My bad. Like if you can see this is square root, you want to round up, you want to round to a certain number, floor, sin, cos, tangent. I think some of you guys learned that in school. The x-axis, y-axis, and so on. The radian, whatever. These are all like math. So anything in blue you see is all related to math. Then as for the text, anything that comes in pink, the Barbie pink, So example, you want to put in messages. You want to link in like messages, like I want hi. I want everyone to say hi. So let's say when a button is pressed, you display the word hi. So example, probably we add in a button. Okay, example, we add in a button. Then we had a button down here. Right? So you go down here and say, oh, and button one is clicked. So what will happen when button one is clicked? When button one is clicked, if let's say you want to put in something, and put in like when button one is clicked, you maybe let's say you open another screen, you start to get value, you display something and you say hi, something like that. So it's also doable. So this is the text part. So as for the list part, it will be in light blue, where you have to list everything down. Let's say you want to list something. Maybe you want to list certain things. You want to list a row of numbers. You want to list like a row of things, and everything that is, it'll be in light blue. It will be under list. Like you see new sorted lists from everything that it's got to do with lists, it is light blue. So if let's say we put in some wrong blocks or like wrong things, that it will ended up coming out errors. If you look at this small little two icons here, one is maybe warning and one is like as an X here. So if let's say you have something that is not in place, like this thing is not connected anywhere, and basically it'll never run anything. So that's why it'll display a warning. So whenever you see that, oh, there's one warning, so you can click on that warning and you can find which block have error. So it's more of like you're doing programming and you forget something in the lines of codes. And there will be something in the code, basically the programming software. They'll also have warnings like these to actually indicate that where there's mistakes and so on that you have to look into. So this is like a good practice. Like you can just look into like warnings if let's say there are errors and if you know where to find them. So if let's say you don't know what error is this, you can click on this and there'll be a message popping up to say that, oh, what error is this? And what should you do? So in this situation that I did not connect this block to anything. So that's why my error is this block should be connected to any event block or this procedure definition. Basically, it means that I need to connect this block to something else. So usually there are errors like this, and there will be an error message down here. And also there will be an if you don't know what happened, there will pop up a simple definition of like what your error is. So if let's say I delete this, there is no errors now. It'll go down to 0. Yep. So then moving down, then you have the dark blue section where you have dictionaries. Basically, dictionaries is where it's not as it's not as I mean it's quite rare to use it because like you get values, this kind of stuff, and these are under dictionary, but it's quite rare to use these functions. And as for colors, this is where you see gray. These are like you can change colors, you can select colors and so on. You can maybe make a color to something, and yep, this is the color section. Basically, you want to change color to anything else, and it will be in the gray section where it's colored. I don't know why they listed it as gray because colors are quite colorful, right? But yeah, as for the variables and anything that is darker shade of orange, it's all the variables part. So if I set something to sorry. Oh, how to do that? Okay, sorry, I missed out the chat section. Okay, basically, I'll actually show the hands-on section because right now I'm just introducing these every single function of it. So later I'll actually guide you to actually make a simple login page interface, somewhat like that. So no worries on that. I'm just guiding you through the features of these. So later it'll be easier for you to find these blocks lah. So like usually for the for the purple block, this is like procedure. So usually like step 1, step 2, step 3 is under procedures. So these are like the built-in features. Then as for usually if you look down here is where what components that you add into your screen. So by default we have screen, which is the basic thing that you need to have because you're building an app. There is a screen, there's phones, and so the phone have screen. So button is the particular button that I added in just now. So this is where you can drag and drop things here. Okay, so these are like the list of functions that you have on the back end. Okay, I have a question down there. I tried to connect the word with the button, but it doesn't connect. I see, no. Actually that for that one, because button you need to put in like let's say example you have like okay, if you notice down here you have you have like a little pump or something. If you want to connect, if you connect them to each other, let's say just now you had the text one here, right? So it's like connecting a puzzle. You have to find the right shape. So if let's say you want to find the right shape, you have to find the right hole. So it's like building a puzzle where you have to connect this together. Somewhat like doing a puzzle. Yep. So this is how you connect these together. But yeah, this is just an example lah. Okay. So are you guys ready? All right. So right now you can go back to the main screen. Okay, just give me a few seconds. All right. So now you go back to your main screen. Okay, so right here, So we want to do probably something like a login screen. So if it's a login screen, we will need to have like a screen where you have login and some buttons and for you to key in your username and password and so on. Correct? Okay. So in this part, you would like to log in and probably change to another screen or change to a different background. So to do that, we should put in two kinds of layouts. So we should be having two kinds of layouts where you'll be first doing the login screen first, then maybe after you log in, you can show a message of like, hey, successfully logging in or welcome to some apps and so on. That's example. Okay. So we'll be needing to have two vertical arrangement. So I want you to go to the second one, which is the layout section, where you see the 1, 2, 3, 4th one, the vertical arrangement. So when you drag the vertical arrangement, then you drop it down here. So you'll be having vertical arrangement 1. Okay, so right here, we will in vertical arrangement 1, we would like to build the login page. So we would like to build the login page. So usually, what do you have in a login page? Usually, maybe we have like a logo. So you want to probably display a logo. So to display a logo, you go back to user interface. Then you put in one image, drag and drop into the vertical arrangement. If you can see. Okay, so as you can see now, the vertical arrangement is like so small down here. So we would like to make it bigger. Maybe we like to add a few more things in here. So probably we want to add in a label. So label, you drop it inside here. But you want them to also key in like passwords and so you need a text box. Then you see a text box below a switch. You can drag the text box and put it right below the label. And below the text box, you will want to put in the password section. So the password section, of course, you need to put in password section right below here. So you'll be having, we actually deal with the alignment later. We deal with the alignments and so later. So right now we just put in the components that we have right now. So right below that, we will be having a button. So where to find the button? Is it in the user interface? Yep. This button is part of the user interface. So we need to drag and drop it down here. So you'll be having a full set of whatever you need to have in the vertical arrangement, which is the login page. So next up, you will need to do the second page, which is the page that you put in the successful login part. So next up, you need to go to layout again, and you go to vertical arrangement. But first, you will need to hide this vertical arrangement. So you go down to vertical arrangement 1, you click here, you go all the way down here. If you see a visible, you uncheck it. And after that, you put in the vertical arrangement. So you also can see the section where you have a small thing here, then vertical arrangement 1 is down here, and vertical arrangement 2 is up here. So you can see that, oh, let's decide on what to have inside the vertical arrangement 2. So probably you would want to also put in a logo. So if you want to put in a logo, you can go to images. You can start in one image. You can put in a few labels. So if, let's say you want a particular arrangement to actually fill up the whole thing, you would want to go to height and you say fill parent. If you fill parent, meaning that the height will be your entire whole screen. And as for the width, because it's automatic, so it follows whatever that you put inside. So if you put fill parent, meaning that it'll fill up your whole entire page. So this is how you can actually fill up the whole entire page. Now, you can also do the same for vertical arrangement 1, but we hid it for now. So you can also click in fill parent for the height and the width. So if you click on visible, because right now you have 2 of these here. So usually we would want to have, like, example, after you log in, then you hit this page and you change to vertical arrangement 2, which is the after login page. Oh, how do you adjust the size? Okay, so you go back to, you click on vertical arrangement, either of it. Then if you go to the right hand side, you should be seeing appearance. In the appearance section, you go all the way down. You should be seeing height and width. So in the height and width, you can click on, because previously it's automatic. So if you want to put it to fill the whole entire screen, you click on fill parent. Fill parent meaning that you'll fill the whole entire screen for you. And if you want to adjust them into a certain size, a certain percentage, a certain pixels, you can actually do so. If, let's say, you want to adjust them to 50% of the screen, so I just put in 50%. So 50% meaning that my height will be 50% of the screen. So if I want them to go to 100%, which usually goes for fill parent. Yep. Does that answer your question? Yep. Oh, can you repeat on how to hide the vertical arrangement 1 just now? Okay, so how do I hide the vertical arrangement 1? So let's say I click on vertical arrangement 1, then you should be seeing the appearance in this section, in this right hand side section. Then you go all the way down. Just now we had the height, the width, then we'll go to the most bottom part where you see visible. Visible, and if it's tick, meaning that you can see it. If you want to hide it, you need to untick it. So once you untick it, then you can just hide. You will just hide it. So if you want to see it, let's say I want to see vertical arrangement 2. So I click on vertical arrangement tool because currently now it's hidden. You see this visible unchecked. So you click on it. When you click on it, then the whole entire thing will appear. So you can do so for any other labels. Let's say I want the button to hide whenever I don't need it. I can also click on visible. Then basically the button will go missing. But if I want to see the button, I can click on visible. Then basically this is for vertical arrangement one. So let's say for other things, let's say I want it for a button. I want this button to disappear. So I can scroll all the way down. You can still see the button now, right? So I can scroll all the way down the visible section. I can click it. Same goes to all the other things like pictures, labels, the text box, and also the password label. So it can do so for any other block or so. Any UI, you can actually use this visible, invisible function. Okay, so right now we need to have this button visible because we will be needing this. So probably down here, you can actually start to customize your login page to however you like, but this is just a suggestion from me. So now, how do I change the text on the text label one? So this I can change to any kind of text that I want, but then you have to click on the text, go to the most right-hand section, where you see the appearance, you go all the way down. As you can see here, you can change the font size, you can make it bigger, smaller. You can even change the font, where you can change to any kind of font that you like that is inside MIT. Then you can actually adjust the height, the width, and so on. Anything that you can see here is adjustable. As long as they have the height, the width, the alignment, it's visible or not, you can do so. Okay, but now I want to change the text on here. So this is where the text section comes in. It's below the width. So down here, you can click on it. You can change to any kinds of text that you like. Okay, so you can change to, let's say I want to change to, this is a login page. I put a login and I click out of it, and this will be login. But let's say I want to increase the size of the font. I can probably go up the font here, and I can just change the font anyhow I want. So I'm going to make it bigger, smaller, and so on. I can do so. So if let's say I want to change the font type, there are a few built-in fonts here, like sans serif, serif, and monospace. You can just change the font where it doesn't make a difference. But unless you change to some weird fonts, you get different fonts, like see, lock it, it's a different font. So if you want to make it bigger, smaller, you can do so. But if let's say you want to upload any images, you have to go down to this media section, and you can choose file, and you can upload any file that you like. So if let's say I want to upload, you can find any pictures that you like to upload. Maybe you want to upload a logo of your school, you want to upload anything. So maybe we go for maybe you put in a ministry logo here. All right, so once you uploaded your image in the MIT, you will see your image here. But how do I attach this image into this image section? So you should see this image one here. Then you click on the image, but how do I attach the image into whatever that I want? So when you click on image 1, on your right hand side, you should see the appearance section again. Then below the height, the width, you should see a picture. So now it's none because there's no pictures attached. Then once you click on it, you should see whatever images or audio that you have downloaded, uploaded to this section. You click on download JPEG. Yep, then we have this picture now here. So you can also adjust the height, the width, and so on. If this is clickable and what is the text and so on, you can do so too. So I also wanted to maybe change the text for the button. You also, if you don't want to click on the component section here, you also can click on the buttons down here. It's also clickable. So if you want to change text on it, you can also go to the appearance section and go all the way down because this is a button. Then here, text for button 1, as long as this message matches this message here. So the words matches. As long as it matches, then you can change. All right, so if let's say I want to change to maybe login. So I just put login. So it will change the login. So if let's say I want them to be, because everything is sideways now, I want them to go center. Usually text alignment will be center. Then, yep. So you go back to vertical arrangement 1. You want everything to align to the center because now align horizontal, now everything is aligned to left. So I want everything on the screen to align to center. So what should I do? I go on to appearance, align horizontal. You should see the left one down here. Click on it and you press center 3. The whole entire screen will actually center to the, you're actually centered. Okay, so right now, I also want to do that for the second screen. Can anyone follow? Anyone follow so far? Okay, nice. All right, so I want to do that for the vertical arrangement too. So right now I hide the arrangement 1 first and go to arrangement 2 and I make it visible. So right now we can probably design, we can put in the image. Then probably we can put in the text for maybe let's say welcome to the app example. So we can change this to welcome to, let's say, okay, you have an app name. So same goes to this one. If you want them to align to the center, you can do so. And you can change the font. You want it to be bold. You want to be italic. Also can. So you want to adjust the size. Let's say you want it to become 30. I want it to become big. It's all doable. Okay. So, but I also want to align this to the center. I can do so. So I can go back to pressing on vertical arrangement 2. and I click on center tree. So now if let's say I click on login, the automatic change to this page. So we'll be needing to do that on the back end side. Okay. So right now I need to hide this again and show this page. All right. So we mostly did the UI done. So now we're gonna move in to the back end part. But before that, because we are also going to put in the database, so we have to go to experimental. We go to the second section, the Firebase DB. We drag, but well, it's a reminder for you. So because it's a new feature for MIT, so you can drag and just drop it anywhere. Then it will be down here. Okay. So, yep. So maybe you had done the UI part. So now we want to put in the blocks part. So for the block section, you scroll up again. Then we go to blocks. At this section, you should see or these, but to make it better, maybe you want to sign up. Oh yes, I forgot the button for sign up. So you can go back to designer because we have login and we also need a button to sign up. So that therefore you have to go into user interface button, the first button, you insert it below here. And you can label it as sign up. Okay, so now we have a login button and sign up button. But now over here, to make things easier to do, so we wouldn't want to have like confusions between what is button 1 and button 2. So we just rename them so we can easier make it inside the coding section. So when we click on button 1, because button 1 is login, you can click on rename. The old name is button 1, but we call it login. And as for button 2, because button 2 is for sign up, and you can click on rename. Then you just press on sign up. Can everyone follow so far? Oh, macam mana kalau tekan reset? Which button did you press for the reset? You mean reset connection, or is it reset? You delete something? But you always can reset it back by, if you, let's say you click on the wrong thing, you want to reset it back, you can press on Control Z, then you can actually reset things up. Okay. So if anything, if any questions you want to raise or stop me anywhere, you can just stop me lah. Okay. Alright, so now this is the interface section. Then we can move towards to the backend section. Okay. So for the backend section, you click on blocks. Okay. So for blocks, we can do on the sign up button first, because once the screen loads, it usually you should key in key in, then key in the username, password, and also press on the sign up. So as what I said earlier, then everything starts. You have to press the yellow. You have to use the yellow block. So you click on sign up, then you should see all these yellow blocks. So what we want to do is, once you key in all the things and you press on sign up, what will they do? So we go on when sign up button is clicked, is drag and drop here. So now, if you cannot see clearly, I'll just enlarge it. Okay. I hope you can see now. Okay. So when you put on when sign up is clicked, so we want them to connect to the database. So we want to connect them to the database because now I click on sign up. I want them to connect to the database to find whether you have this username, password in the database or not. If they don't have, please help me to register this username, password into the database. So what are you going to do is you click on Firebase DB1. You scroll all the way because we want to store the value. So we want to store, because usually in the sign up, meaning that you have to store this value into it. So you scroll all the way down, you should see this button called Firebase DB1, store value, tag value to store. So you drag this out. Okay, so as you can see, there is a hole here, and there is a notch here. So you have to connect them like puzzles. So you drag and drop it. Because why it shows warning here? Because these two are empty. So you should see why they show warning, because they say you should fill all the sockets with blocks, meaning that these two. So the program is not complete when you have these two things empty. So you have these kind of warnings below. Okay. So next up, what we have to do is we have to tag something. So we have to get a value from whether to see you have this username or not. So where to find the username? When you key in the username in the text box. So you're gonna find, you click on text box 1, that's where you key in the username. So you find on text box 1, text, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th one. So you drag this and you drop it here. So because we want to get the value from text box 1 to text. Okay. So next up, we will want to get the value from the password section. Because username, it's usually text. So, but you can also customize them into like text and numbers and so on. But usually you can set that values. But now today we're going by text. So value to store, we go to password text box 1. So over here, we also want the text box, the password to be only text. So also, we go to the fourth one, we call password text box 1 text. You drag this, you drop it here. You see, once this program is complete, then you have a complete program. Then the warning sign goes away. Right, so that's usually how a complete program is look like. So you have a complete section of once you sign up, they'll connect to the database where they will store the value for the username, which will be false under text box 1. And they'll also store the password will falls under the password text box 1, which both of these will be in text. All right, so you had completed the sign up section. Can everyone follow so far? Hey, thank you for your response. Okay, so after doing the sign up button, we can do the login button. So for the login side, you can click on login. Then when you click on login, because we want them to, what happens when after you click the log. So it's on the first one, you drag this down here. Okay. So now you have login and click. So what happens? You need to access the database again. So, but this time we don't want to store. We want to get data. We want to find data to match the data where the username and the password, does it match or not? So again, we go to Firebase 1. And we scroll all the way down. Because just now, we are using store value. Store value meaning that you store you simpan the whatever information you have into the database. So now we need to match. We need to go into the database to find whether you have this information or not. So you need to get value. So you drag this get value, pop it in here. All right. So you have call Firebase get value. So now we want them to find whether the information from the username does it match or not. So actually you can go into here. You can click on this and right click. You can duplicate. You can duplicate and drag all the way down here. It's easier. You don't have to go into the block section and actually find for information. All right. So if the tag value is not there, what should it display? Meaning that this username is not found. Then basically you can just search for and just display like, oh, it's not there. Please sign up. Okay. So we had done the sign up and login button. So after completing the sign up and login button, we are going to do the Firebase part. So Firebase part, basically, you need to go to Firebase, but we want them to get the value for the password section. So for the password section, you have to go to, because we want to get the value from the Firebase. So that's why we need to use Firebase got value. You want to get the Firebase, you want to get a password to see whether you can log in or not. So you go to when Firebase DB get value. If you see there is a tag and value there, meaning these are part of the variables, meaning that the actions part. So, but then we have to do a little bit of programming thinking here. So we have to use the if and else section. So we have to compare whether, let's say if you can manage to find the username. So after successfully finding the username, if the username is there and you check for the password, then if the password matches the username, then what action next? Because we are changing from the first screen to the second screen. So this is the idea that we are putting into when we connect this to the database. So if we want to use the if else, we have to go back to the control, which is the yellow block. Then we need to find if and then. We put in if and then, but we need to find if it matches. So we need to do math. So if it equals to the value that we get. So it's the third one here that you drag it in. So you drag it into here because we want to get the tag, meaning get the tag. Where is the tag? Tag is here. Here is the username. So we want to match the username with the password. So tag, if you see here, there's a tag, you just hover on it, and you can put get tag. Get tag meaning that you need to matches this tag, which is the username. So what we need to find is it matches the username. So where does the username falls on? It falls on text box 1. So here you can right click and duplicate and put it in here. So in this section, you will see that, if this tag, meaning that if the username, this whatever that you key in, matches the username that they in the system. So this tag, you will check for in the system whether does it matches the username that you key in the text box. All right, so now we had finished for the text box one. So now we need to match the text box jika text box tiada, you scroll down here, do you see this text box below label 1? Ada nampak text box tak dekat vertical arrangement tu? Jika tak nampak text box ni, you go back to designer. Jika your text box is not here, if your text box is not here, you go back to user interface, you insert the text box. You masuk dalam ni. You masuk dalam ni. Then you will see the text box kat sini. Okay. Boleh dapat text box tak? Muhammad Izan. Boleh dapat text box? Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Dekat designer ada text box tak? Yang dapat macam ni. Oh, the text box is supposed to be in vertical arrangement 1. So vertical arrangement 1, you will see this section below the login, meaning below the label 1, there is a text box. Jika tak dapat text box, pergi dekat user interface, ujung situ, nampak text box. You drag the text box, letak dalam sini. Yeah. Dalam sini lah. So, if you put this in, you should be getting the text box here. Okay, boleh? Okay, welcome. Okay, kami teruskan lah. Okay, so you had finished the text box in this Firebase. You have managed to do until if you matches the username. So let's match the password. So to match the password, you also need the if and then. So to find this, we go to control again. The first one, we drag and drop if and then. So in this section, we will also need this equal sign. This equal sign, but usually you can duplicate lah. You tekan ni, you right click, and duplicate. Then basically it's faster lah. Okay. Boleh nampak tak? Okay, but we don't want the username. We want the password text box. So dekat sini, you can change, but you see, there's no text box one here, right? So you have to remove this. You can press delete. So you want to put in the text box, the password box. So you scroll down, in this vertical arrangement 1 here, you click on password text box 1. You click on it, you need to find the password text box 1 text, which is below the set text box 1 password visible, this password text. Boleh jumpa? Okay. Alright, nice. Okay, yang ni you drag and drop, letak dalam tu. Okay, so now in this Firebase, basically you need to match whether the tag matches the username, which is falls under text box 1. If the tag managed to matches the password text box 1. Okay, so if you matches this, what's next? You need to change from the vertical arrangement 1 to vertical arrangement 2. So how do you do that? It will be set. So you go to vertical arrangement. You just go to any of the vertical arrangement. But firstly, you need to change from arrangement 1 to arrangement 2, right? So we need to scroll, because down, you need to scroll all the way down here. You see set vertical arrangement 1, visible 2. You see a black section here. You drag this up. So you see set vertical arrangement 1, visible. We want to make it invisible. So to make it invisible, what do you do? So we need to make a decision. We need to make it no. So if you want to say no, where should you go to? We should go to logic. So logic, we want this to become false because we want the visible to say no. So visible, you want vertical arrangement 1 to say no. So you want to show vertical arrangement 2. So what would you do? If we want to see vertical arrangement 2, should it be false also? Yes, correct. The visible will be to true. So you can set to true here. So when the password is correct, you'll change from false to true. All right. So what if all of this doesn't match? What will happen? You need to set. You need to tell. You need to tell them that, oh, sorry, wrong password. So to do that, you need to set the label. To maybe change the label to say, oh, wrong password, sorry. Then we can go to set label. You can just use any of them, but we need to set, let's say we use set label background. Then because where should we put this? We should put, let's say if this is a wrong password. So we put it down here because if let's say, oh, the password doesn't match, the username doesn't match, then we just show that, oh, sorry, wrong password. But we cannot put the background color. We're gonna put to text. So if you want to set a text, you go to the text, the Barbie pink again. Then you select the first one because you can key in your own text. Then you drag and drop down here. But why is it, oh, okay, but there's an error. Okay, so now we can accept, maybe we say, sorry, wrong password, try again. Okay, so we had done the programming part. Okay. Right. So can everyone follow till this point? Boleh follow tak? Right. Nice. Okay. So we had done the programming section. So we have to connect the Firebase to our server. So I'm going to teach you how to do the Firebase part. Okay, so next up, I will need you guys to go to this link. I'll send this in the chat box. And letak link dalam chat box. Give me a moment. So now we're going to link the app to the database. Okay, so when you click this app, you have to register an account. But it'll be free lah for a certain amount of it'll be free if it doesn't exceed the threshold. Meaning that there's a limit that you can go lah. As long as you don't have too many users connected to the database at the time, Firebase will be free. So once you sign up, you will reach this page. Okay, but after you click, sorry. Okay. So once you sign up, you akan datang console sini. So if you haven't signed up, it will look like this. Okay. So once you load that link, you tekan sign in. Tapi if you don't have, you can use your MOE account also. You can use your MOE account to create an account. So meaning that MOE account tak boleh guna lah. Tapi you boleh guna account, personal account lah. Personal Gmail pun boleh. So I suppose MOE account, MOE government, I think they block the access lah for this. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so once you sign in, then you will reach this page. So after reaching this page, semua dapat page ni ke? I'll give you guys like around 1 minute to sign in. Dapat sign ke? Dapat demo version saja. Yeah, it's okay. Demo version pun boleh. Because hari ni kami akan guna demo version also lah. Because we won't be using the paid account version. Kami akan guna free punya lah. Dapat sign in ke? Also can use personal account lah. Dapat access. Sekejap. Tekan go to console. Boleh ke? Yeah. Have to use personal account. Yeah, but it's okay. Demo version also enough already. Okay, nice. Okay. Jika semua jika sign in, then after that you will see this page. You tekan add project. Because I'm not sure about MOE account, tapi demo version pun boleh lah. So jika successfully sign in, you tekan add project. You add project, let's say you just put random login page lah. Then tekan continue. Then you click on continue. Then if let's say you tak nak Google Analytics, but I think Google Analytics tak perlu lah. Then uncheck the enable Google Analytics for this project, then tekan create project. Then tunggu dia load lah. Okay, so when you see this, your new project is ready. After that, click continue. Okay, so yang ni, after that, you go to when you masuk project ni, you click build. You click build, then I'll send you a code. Jap. I'll send you a code. You pergi. Let's see. This is the file store database. All these you can actually explore lah. Jika function, storage, holdings, and all these. You can actually explore also lah. Like macam these are something like the real-time database. These are also something that you can actually see lah. Macam A/B testing, but all this we tak payah lah. Analytics also is to see the who log into your server and so on lah. Then release monitor macam crash, performance and so on. But usually, we'll like hosting is more of like hosting and how does it work, the authentication, cloud file store, and see all build features and so on. These are all the features lah for the project. But what we'll use is usually real-time database. Real-time database, we tekan create database. So real-time database, we have to set up the database. So US Central one, just leave it as US Central. Because kadang-kala, I think if you use outside US, ada sikit issue lah. So we say put US Central one. Then you put next. Then security rules. Then start in log mode, start in test mode, but it's okay, we can change later. We put enable. So wait for it to load. Okay. So sekarang, we have to go to rules. So rules over here, you see this section kan? So tadi I ada copy paste a row of code. You copy, you highlight, after that, paste. Paste, then after that, you letak publish. But it's okay, because yang ni kami guna untuk yang ni app saja lah. So, okay. Then just click dismiss will do. Okay. So far okay. Boleh follow tak? Okay. Okay, so sekarang we need to put in the Firebase hosting. So we want to usually over here you will see the usage lah. Jika ada orang login or whatnot, then rules. And rules, this is the rules. Then data. And usually you copy so now you need to copy link yang ni lah. You copy link address. Then you pergi your app. Then you tekan Firebase DB1. Then default is so far boleh. Okay. So far so good. Okay. So to test your app, you go to view and you tekan Android APK. Then you let it load. You're stuck on Firebase. Okay, so Firebase yang mana okay. So now we're back on Firebase. So yang tadi I ada copy paste satu code kan dekat chat box. So dekat chat box, you copy the whole text. You copy. After that, you highlight dekat ni rules lah, rules. Yang ni rules, you tekan paste. Then after that, dia ada blue color section. You press update. So if let's say you press publish yang ni, you press publish, then you auto update. Oh, uh, boleh tak nak tengok blocks tu? Nak tengok blocks tu ke? You mean this one? Blocks yang ni. Is it this blocks? Yeah, sure. Okay, sama. Okay, then after that, kita tekan Android build. Okay, so you can scan your QR code, then you can download to app. So to scan the QR code, let me show you. Okay, so yang ni, you can press scan on QR code. Then after that, you can scan. Then after that, so sometimes it requires connection lah. Tetapi you can also scan using this code to download the APK file. Then you'll find it inside your files. Then log APK. But this one I'm using Apple lah. So yeah. So you can use your app there. What do I do on the rules of the real-time database. Yeah, this is the rules. Yeah, thank you, Iman. Okay, so I think today also almost reaching 4. I think that'll be all lah for the crash course.